Boom! What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larsen. Welcome to another awesome, intense, your life's never going to be the same episode of Sales Funnel Radio. Today I'm going to talk to you guys and teach you and make you aware of something you may not know about. There are two worlds in entrepreneurship. Let's go to the episode.
I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business, using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
What's going on, my friends? I am very, very stoked for today's episode. I am longboarding. It's a little bit windy out. Hopefully you guys got me and hear me all right. But you know, when I was in college, what I was taught was to go and you know, nothing against it, but I was taught to go and create a business plan, make a mission statement, write put it up into 15 to 30 page write-up, and then go stand in front of a board of investors to see if I could get funded. We actually did that. And I remember one of my classes in college, and I'm not bad-mouthing at all. I learned a ton in college. It was awesome. I still think people should go to college. They'd be like, you don't need it anymore. I needed it because I needed to learn how to learn. All right, I would not be doing what I am now today without college. And so I'm not gonna badmouth school. I'm never gonna badmouth higher education. If you got an MBA, or if you went even higher than that, congrats, right? That's awesome. It's just not what fills your wallet, right? And that's okay, right? You can go do things that aren't for cash, obviously. So anyway, one of the things that we were supposed to do in this class, it was from a teacher that I had. Brilliant man. He invented a new style of concrete. And when the World Trade Centers were hit, 9/11, it was he and his company that were hired to go, and it's his concrete now in the new one. Because he invented a new style of concrete where you need less material and it's significantly stronger. Brilliant guy. Very fun to learn from, right? He was actually doing it. He was walking the walk, talking the talk. He'd actually been out on the street and making his cash. And so because of that, like, I always want to learn from somebody who's done what I'm asking them to teach me. Great guy. So what we did in his class is we had to go and we had to write down, we created a 15 to 30 page business plan. And there was a SWOT analysis and there was all this. I mean, it was a big write-up. And what we did is we went and we sat in front of the culminating event of the entire semester was to go stand in front of a board of investors at the end of the semester. And at the end of the semester, pitched these guys to see if we could get our businesses funded. And that's what we did. And there were people who were actually funded. And they went and they got funded, and it was super cool, it was exciting, and it wasn't until I actually saw this pesky little book called .com Secrets, and I started reading the book, because I had been trying, I think I was on business try like 12 or 13. I heard about funnels at try 17, okay? That's about where I was. And all these tries, I mean, I thought the success was based on the product. I thought success was based on the, how it looked and all these things that I was learning in college. Those help, but it's not why it sells, right? It wasn't until it was hard because I was like, well, this guy, Russell Brunson, he's an entrepreneur. He's totally an entrepreneur, right? I mean, he is. I was like, but he's not teaching me to go do the same stuff that I'm learning in college. And it was almost a little bit, confusing for me for a little while. And so what you guys are going to learn inside this is it's a part of my speech that I put together for OfferMind, and I did it specifically because I wanted you guys to see how deep the two worlds go and why people are so rooted in the one that they're in. And you have an opportunity to choose which one you're going to go for. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, a funnel is greater than funding. It's always greater than funding. All right, and I want you to know why. And inside this episode and what we're about to cut over to now is a part of my speech where I want to share with you again and expose these things and share with you, if you go out and you get funding, more power to you. All right, but you're going to see why I believe that is the dumber path. That is not actually what you should be going and doing. It's hard, it's scary, it's actually nerve-wracking. to go get funding for a business. It's so much scarier than building a funnel. And then I'll have people be like, Steven, I built a funnel, didn't work. And I'm like, and? Do you want the alternative? I mean, you could go, all right, try it again, right? Just do it again. Or stop whining. Or just realize that, okay, go do the second path now, which is to go get funding. And you're gonna see why in this episode. So let's go ahead and cut over there right now. I know you guys will enjoy this. This is me straight from stage, teaching an audience of about 600 people. Awesome, guys, let's cut over. So there's two worlds of entrepreneurship. The first world. Okay, I want to talk about something called the J curve. Who's heard of the J curve? Right? Terrible. Hate the J curve. J curve has killed more dreams, in my opinion, than anything else. Evil practice. Okay. The first world of entrepreneurship is about funding. I love Shark Tank, but I hate what they do. Okay? Funding is terrible. There are 6 celebrations in the standard entrepreneurship world. And this is what I was taught in college and what I was being prepped for an MBA for. I really wanted to get an MBA for a while, and this is what I was being taught and how to go do it. Not throwing rocks if you have a higher education. That's totally fine. Okay? It's just not what causes cash. Okay? The J curve is what I was taught though as a prep for an MBA. And the J curve, this is what they teach. This is what they taught me. How many of you guys have seen the J curve like from schools? Yeah. How many of you guys have bought into the J curve and you got a loan? Totally get it, feel your pain, did the same once, okay? Check this out. Number 1, the first celebration is when you get funded. Woo! And they're like, oh my gosh, did you get funded? Colton and I won a business competition at our college. That's where we met. And then we went over, they sent us to win and compete in another business competition at another college. And none of the other entrepreneurs took us seriously because we hadn't been funded yet. It's like, how much funding have you gotten with that? Like, let's not even talk about the idea, how you're going to market it, what it solves, the problems you're going to go for. You know what I mean? What? Well, it's not viable because no one's funded it yet. Oh, okay. What are you talking about? The moment you get funded, huge celebration in the traditional entrepreneur world. Okay. The moment you stop losing money. So I'm going to take on a whole bunch of money and I'm going to go dump it into my business systems. And the moment those systems start creating cash, this is from Wikipedia, and you see the years at the bottom there. This is in 3 to 5 years, you're expected to no longer be losing cash. 3 to 5 years, I haven't been doing this that long. You understand? This is ludicrous. And this is, I have got, just so you know, like I'm very open about this on Sales Funnel Radio, right? I have had so many people on LinkedIn, the professionals, social media, slam me. They are pissed that I am out here showing and exposing this. I've had VC firms reach out, like, what are you talking about? Oh, we don't know how to value your business because we don't know the loan to revenue ratio. My loan is 0. What are you talking about? Well, so you're not actually worth anything. I made $2 million in a year and a half. What do you want from me? You know what I mean? That world doesn't know how to look at our world. And it's one of the things ClickFunnels has been running into because they didn't take on any money. Like, how do we value ClickFunnels? And they're like, look at what we've done, but there's no loan to revenue ratio. They freak out, okay? The next celebration is when you start making money. You're not losing it anymore, but you're not losing it, you're not making it, but you're losing it as fast as you're making it. You're just kind of going straight, right? And then you actually start making the cash. Then when you make more than you've borrowed, which is like supposed to be usually about 5 years in, that's a big celebration. Holy cow. That's usually, actually it's back here. As soon as you start making more, actually it's right back here. It's right back here. Usually that's when people go for a second round of funding. Okay, and then they'll go for another round of funding, usually when they start making cash on the cash itself. The next is when they actually break even and make more money than they took on. Makes me want to throw up a little bit. Then they actually hit a big profit zone. And the big profit zone is all that space above the bottom line there. And what you're taught is to sell out to the stock market in about 10 to 15 years, right? How many of you guys, you've heard this before, you're taught it somewhere else? This is what, yeah, okay, quite a few of you, right? And this is the other dirty, dark side of the entrepreneurial space, okay? What's your real opinion, Steven? Okay. The other way is to just build a funnel and bootstrap it. You know what's interesting? The people who compete with ClickFunnels don't sell their funnel software with a funnel.
Ridiculous, okay? Don't get funding. Instead, learn what real marketing is, okay? Create a sales message, create the offer, build a funnel, launch it, relaunch it. And I go through that and I share with it, and people are like, that sounds like work. Or, I had a buddy, I'm not gonna say any names. I had a buddy he was like, how are you doing all the stuff you are? And I was like, well, I went and I read this book called .com Secrets. It's totally changed my life. I was sitting on a security line with my M16 in my right hand and .com Secrets in my left hand for 10 days in the dirt. And in Army uniforms, there's a pen slot right here on the forearm. So I'd lay my rifle down, make sure no sergeants were around, take out my pen and write it. It was a training, okay? There was nothing like going on. But that's why I read .com Secrets. And he looked at, my buddy asked me, where are you learning this? I said, go to .comsecrets.com. And he went there. He's like, this guy looks like he's talking a lot about money and like a lot about, this looks like a scam. I don't think so. I was like, what are you look at my bank statement. What are you talking? Just go. It's $7 though. Like, it's $7. What is wrong with you, right? After a while, they just stopped pursuing him. I was like, all right, whatever. Okay, but this is people are like, sounds like there's a lot of work. I'm like, what? Anyway. Anyone offended yet? Are we all good? All right, sounds good. All right, so school and mainstream entrepreneurship teaches us to build a business system. Who's on your team? How are you gonna fulfill, right? Where are you gonna source your product from? What's your operations statement? All that stuff. That's all you figure out. And then you're gonna write it up in a 15 to 30 page business plan and hopefully go get funded. And then hopefully those systems create cash. And that's what you're taught. Instead, do it the other way, right? Don't go do the business systems things. What you do is build the funnel and test your message and offer real time, right? And then those things create your systems. That's why I've created my systems mostly in the last year. Compared to the first 6 months, I was just solo for the most part, right? I take that revenue and the revenue builds my team as I need it. My revenue builds my systems as I need them. I get paid from the profit, not a loan, right? Heal the J curve.
So several years ago, I walked by a stage in a basketball stadium. It was my college campus, and I was deeply concerned with what I wanted to do in my life. For some reason, I looked at the stage and thought, one day I want to be on stages, I want to be an entrepreneur, and I want to buy and sell companies. Well, while the last one hasn't happened yet, stage and entrepreneurship has. And as my business has grown and my message has spread, a frequent question I'm asked is, Steve, what stage will you be on next? Now, I totally get that this feels maybe like a little conceited here, but considering my childhood fear of speaking up, being heard, extreme lack in self-confidence, and getting in front of people back in my growing up days, I feel satisfied. I thought I'd tell you where I'll be in the world coming up. And funny enough, just literally go over to cstevelive.com and it will forward you to the next place. I love stage, and it's one of my biggest things to look forward to in my current role in my business. From little 10-person masterminds all the way to gigantic 5,000-person events. From free seats to paid events, events have always been one of the ways I can deliver the most value and get the greatest ahas in the shortest amount of time. Just come say hi and go over to cstevelive.com.